Welcome back. Like you, I see a lot of products in other woodworking or DIY videos, and a lot of times it's just the video creator holding up a product and saying this is really good, and sometimes they demonstrate it, but you always have a doubt whether that person's getting a kickback. They have sponsored Amazon links in the description or affiliate links to other stores. Sometimes you know that that creator has a bunch of sponsors from different tool companies, and I'm often pretty skeptical about whether or not to buy one of those products unless it's something that I'm looking for. Like if it's a circular saw, I already have a circular saw, so I'm not going to go buy the one that they're recommending because mine's working. And that's especially true for products that cost that much or more. But in the case of this little micro detail sanding kit by Gator or by Zip, I'm not sure which one's the brand name and which one's the product name. It didn't cost very much. If I'm not mistaken, this little packet here that's shown on the screen was just a few dollars, like $10 or $12 at the top. And I already have various types of sandpaper. I have a little sanding block that'll show up at the end of this little video. But I went ahead and bought this to try it out for myself, and I'm just going to play some of my footage. I apologize that it's shaky because I was holding the phone in one hand and holding the product in the other hand. This is just a close-up of the packet. It comes with this little foam thing that you can hold and 15 sheets, 15 very small strips, I should say, of sandpaper. And when you take off that little plastic bubble off the cardboard backing, you have this little foam sandpaper holder, which has a hook and loop fastener system on there. I don't know what kind of foam this is, but it's pretty squishy. And I think the purpose of it is to sand in little small spots where you can't get a bigger sanding block, and also to be comfortable to hold. And these little strips came attached to one another, but not so solidly that I couldn't remove them with one hand. I believe the ones that come in the pack were 80 grit, but you can buy other grits of this small sandpaper strips in the store. And it has the fuzzy backing that'll just stick right onto the hook and loop fastener on the back of this little micro detail sanding kit. With one hand, I had a hard time getting it on there straight, so I had to do it again. But there, I got it on, and I just pulled out this one project that I had been working on. If I'm not mistaken, this was going to be a paper towel holder, and I just started rubbing it along the edge there. And I thought it was actually going to be uncomfortable to hold because it was so small. I thought maybe like my thumb and that muscle right there might start cramping up, but it actually turned out to be very comfortable to hold because of the squishy nature of it. And it just started removing material as you would expect sandpaper to do. Now for this edging here, I could just use a regular sheet of sandpaper or an electric sander. But since this unboxing video, I've used this little thing for a bunch of little corners where I couldn't get a sanding block or it would be uncomfortable to hold a loose sheet of sandpaper, and it's worked really well. This is just for comparison. It's the sanding block that I use that fits in the palm of your hand, that has the rubbery bottom and these little metal clips that hold the sandpaper down when you fold them over the ends. And you can see how the little Gator would fit in a much smaller space than that big sanding block, which is great for wide surfaces or edges. But this little thing is really nice and really comfortable to hold. And I just wanted to share that with you in case you've seen this or some other products on one of those videos that they say you have to buy these 5 products to totally change your woodworking experience or whatever. This one's actually come in really handy, and it didn't cost that much. And as you can see from how small it appeared in my hand, you're not going to need a lot of room to store it. It'll fit easily on the edge of whatever container you use to hold your other sanding equipment. I was actually impressed that each one of these little strips lasts a long time, a lot longer than I thought they would. And maybe that's because I'm used to using the wider sheets of sandpaper where once one part of it starts to wear out or get thin, you basically have to change the whole sheet. Whereas with these little things, you're using the whole thing the whole time, and you're not sanding huge swaths of material. If I'm not mistaken, the width of those little strips is about 3/4 of an inch, so it actually works really well to go down the edge of, say, a 3/4 inch sheet of plywood. You just go down the edge of that, just shuffling it along, and it fits right there perfectly, and you're not wasting a bunch of extra sandpaper hanging off the sides doing nothing, or possibly not being level on the edge because this just sits right there on the edge of that sheet of plywood, or any of your 1x boards that are actually 3/4 of an inch thick. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.